Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get started, yeah? Okay, thank you. Okay, module 1, background of Tao Te Ching. Let's clear the first elephant in the room. What is Tao Te Ching? The first elephant in the room. What is Tao Te Ching? Different people have different understanding. Some say that it is Tao Jiao. Some say that it's a philosophical text. Some say it's a religious text. Some say it's just a historical document. You know, these are the three main kind of answers that I get when I go around asking people, what do you think Tao Te Ching is? Oh, philosophical, you know, 讲道理而已, nothing much, 道理而已, okay? Cannot apply one. But can we apply or not? Later on, we'll see can apply or not. Okay, and then some say that it is 道教哦. Oh, 道德经 is 道教哦. Oh, let's say I highlight again, 道德经 and 道教, two different things, yeah? Okay, so what is 道德经? 道德经 is actually just a book, a collection of 81 short chapters or verses, short verses, and call it one chapter. Okay, so that means 81 pages in one book, 搞定 finish the whole book already, 道德经. But it is the content. It is the content behind those words that carries weights. Weights, okay, 很有分量的 the weights. Okay, and we are going into those weights. And today in workshop 1, just to clear those elephants, we can manage to cover only 2 chapters, chapter 1 and chapter 2, right? If no need to buy Tao Te Ching, you go online, you search Tao Te Ching, plentiful come out, plentiful, some free download some more. Okay, no need to buy. Okay, no need to buy. Unless you buy those 白话. 白话 means somebody already translated into plain English or Chinese, then you go and buy. Okay, but if you just want the actual verses, just go and Google 道德经 plentiful. You want English, search for English one. You want Chinese, search for Chinese one. Okay. Okay. Move on. So 道德经 inside these 81 chapters, it basically provide profound insights into 3 major things, 3 major areas. Number 1, the nature of existence. Existence of what? Existence of you, me, animals, insects, all the organism, trees, where all this come from, where nature comes from, where universe comes from. We're talking about universe, right? But where universe comes from. All right, so Tao Te Ching has the answer. Okay, we will look into that. And number 2, since we talk about the source code of existence, then it's about Tao. Okay, Tao is actually a generic name for the source code. Okay, so there's no better name but just to call it a Tao. So Tao is just a labeling. Okay, so then we talk about the concept of Tao, number 2. And number 3 is once we know the concept of Tao and this is Tao, this is actually what it says about how the source code of existence and then the way of living, and then how do we apply it to our daily life. And that's where he covers, give insights upon the principles of living in harmony with the Tao. Okay, and to do that, you must cultivate the. So number 3 is about the, right? Number 3 is about the. So remember, Tao Te Ching is about Tao and then the the. So Tao Te Ching can be said as to be one of the most significant works of ancient Chinese philosophy. So the word here, philosophy. So no wonder so many feedback saying that it's just another philosophical text. Okay, but I will say it is more than that. So one of the most significant works of ancient Chinese philosophy apart from I Ching. And it has footprint in a lot of Chinese cultures, philosophies, and spirituality worldwide. Now, the keyword here is worldwide. It has gained international and worldwide recognition. A lot of Westerners are now studying Tao Te Ching, like they are studying I Ching like that. Okay, Darren say, Master Yo, you asked what the difference of I Ching and Tao Te Ching. There's a saying, 是非功过有人心, I Ching, 善恶千两问阎王. Wow, 道德经. Wow, chim. Oh, I've never come across this text. Is it already? Okay. So 阎王 means the universe. They have the answer in time to review. Oh, okay. Thanks for sharing this statement. Oh, this is the first time I come across this statement. Interesting. All right. Okay, later we explore. I Ching and Tao Te Ching, what's the difference? Yeah. Okay, but Darren has give you one dimension of the differences. Okay, so Tao Te Ching, the three emphasis of Tao Te Ching is number one, simplicity. Tao Te Ching is actually very, very simple. Okay. In Chinese, there's a statement called, there's a saying, let me see, let me recall. 百姓热用而不知. Let me repeat. 百姓 means commoners. Okay, commoners. 热用 means daily use it. 百姓热用而不知. 而不知 means you use it daily, but you're not aware that you're actually using 道德经. Basically, this is like that. It's so simple that everyone is using it every day. Okay, and then you're talking about humility also. Humility in I Ching, there's a hexagram called humility. 第三千. Okay, 第三千. So it's tie back to I Ching. Tie back to I Ching. Okay, and then the natural order of the universe. The entire Tao Te Ching is about the natural order of the universe and more, seriously, and more. Okay, so who wrote Tao Te Ching? Lao Tzu. Okay, Lao Tzu. So Lao Tzu is not the actual name lah. It's just a labeling to identify that author. Okay, the author is called Lao Tzu. Lao Tzu basically loosely translated means the old master, old teacher, And where was he from? Ancient China. When? 6th century before Christ. 6th century before Christ. That's very far way back. Now, Lao Tzu is not the founder of Dao Jiao. I think, if I'm not wrong, the founder of Dao Jiao is Zhang Daoling. Okay, but Zhang Daoling, based on his legends, Zhang Daoling used Lao Tzu as a mascot. Some companies like to use mascot. Okay, so in today's context, like Zhang Daoling, the founder, used Lao Tzu as a mascot for Dao Jiao and addressed him as Tai Sang Lao Jun, something like that. Okay, so if anyone who study into Taoism, maybe can advise me or advise the class better. You say master, I Ching Gua for simplicity is what? Simplicity 简易. Basically, from the start, if you have studied I Ching say that 简易. 简 means 简单的简，易就是易经的易，简易 it means simplicity already. 复杂的你要简单化。That's it. You say Lao Tzu is older than Jesus, yeah? 6th century BCE leh. Jesus is, I think is 0, right? 0 BC, right? Or starting with 1 AD or something like that, right? Okay, so Lao Tzu is 6th century BC. So you tell me, who is older lah? Okay, but today we are not talking about religious, who is older, who is what. Okay, but let's clear another elephant in the room. Why did Lao Tzu write Tao Te Ching? So free. Okay, why he write Tao Te Ching and only write 81 chapters and write each chapter so short verse only? So let's explore why, the intention. I've always said in all my other classes, the most important thing in life is knowing the intention of doing why you're doing what you're doing. Okay? Darren said, yes, especially Taoism, they use Lao Tzu as another form of Tai Sang Lao Jun. They claim it's another form of him, come human world to help the human. Okay, yeah. So in today's context, the way I look at it is using Lao Tzu as a mascot for their religious sect. Okay, so let's go behind the scene and explore why did Lao Tzu write Tao Te Ching. Okay. Now, Lao Tzu said, I think Lao Tzu said this before. I think he has a conversation with Kongzi. You know Kongzi, right? Confucius. He had a conversation with Kongzi. Okay, and then I think somewhere in between he mentioned that I'm not the first one to discover the concept of Tao. Okay, I'm not the first one. But make a guess. Based on your understanding. If Lao Tzu is not the first one to discover the concept of Tao, then who is? Make your best guess. Type in the chat box. For those who have studied metaphysics, when we learn about all these metaphysics, blah, 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 or Darren come up with a quick answer. Fuxi. Anyone else? Different answer from Fuxi? indeed, based on records, it was traced back to Fuxi. And that's how you say Lao Tzu is 6th century BC, right? Fuxi was 29th century BC. Zhao Shan say I'm terrible with Chinese history. No problem. I say again, Lao Tzu is 6th century BC. Fuxi is 29th century BC. That way back. How many generations already ago? Okay, so Fuxi. Back then, during Fuxi era, there's no such things as languages. There's no such thing as Chinese characters. So Fuxi cannot tell people that, oh, I've discovered Tao, because back then there's no language. There's no such words called Tao. Okay, so bear this in mind. Bear this in mind. But what Fuxi discovered was amazing. Okay, he discovered the source code. And he realized there is a root source, or the source code, or the origin to everything. Okay, to everything. So Darren said, used lines to recognize the flow of nature. Indeed, so the line is called symbols. That's why we have Bagua made up of lines. Two type of line, yin line and yang line. Okay, so very good, Darren. Okay, so Fuxi discovered there's a source code, which is the actually root source or origin to everything. So therefore, basically, Fuxi managed to peel away the surface layer, like the image here, peel the surface area and see behind the scene, what is that source code, which is called, in today's context, Tao. And Tao is coined by Lao Tzu. Okay, Tao is coined by Lao Tzu. Because all the way up to Lao Tzu, nobody know how to describe Tao lah. Or give it a name lah. So Lao Tzu say, okay, use Tao 我们就用 Tao 就好了。Okay. So like I said just now, some of the earliest Chinese characters date back to Shang Dynasty, 16th century. Fuxi, 29th century. The earliest Chinese character is 16th century. And then Lao Tzu is about 6th century. Yeah. Okay, so like what Darren mentioned, very good. You say, oh, in that case, use the line to recognize the flow of nature. Indeed. So what Fuxi did back then, because there's no language, he said, okay, let's use symbols. 一画开天. Like that, lor. 一画开天. Can you see it? Draw one line, split across the sky and the ocean, the earth. You call it like that? Yin Yang come out already. Oh, then we know, okay, 太极, and then 生阴阳. This is I Ching. Okay? And then from I Ching, right? Where's my pen? Okay. I Ching, it says that, okay, then in that case, 一化开天 is singularity. 一化开天 singularity. And from there, you have the heaven and the earth. The yin yang comes out. And from there, it split up into the 四象. From the 四象, it evolved into the 8 trigram. And from the 8 trigram, it evolved into the entire universe. So basically, what it means here, I Ching actually focus a lot on here, on this portion here, this portion. Okay, a lot of this portion. That means things that is already in existence. For example, heaven, earth, ocean, all these already in existence, and use that to help to explain Tao. Okay, so basically, from Fuxi time, right, they use symbols, xiang, in Chinese called xiang, xiang. But Fuxi also mentioned, I think just a brief mention, that, before Taiji, there's something called the Wuji, nothingness. And then suddenly, full stop. This is the where I Ching falls short. Suddenly, full stop. If you read I Ching, right, nothing much talk about nothingness. Wow, but Tao Te Ching, Tao Te Ching give you full 81 chapters of nothingness. Okay, so that means Tao Te Ching talk about both part here. Reconcile this part here and this part here. Amazing, right? Okay, so when we learn I Ching, when you come for my I Ching classes, right, I Ching prediction, I Ching feng shui, whatever I Ching classes, even including AOM, right, I keep emphasizing that to learn I Ching, there are three key principles to help you learn I Ching. Right? Number one is xiang. Xiang means symbolism. For example, the 一化开天, that one is already a xiang. Okay. 好，一花开天, that one is a 相 already. And then numerology, from the 相, there is a numerology influence, that means numerical influence. And then behind, there is a 道理, a philosophy or unchanging rules or principles or law running behind. Right? And then when these three key principles come out, right, every one of us, every practitioner will focus, okay, on Su, and some of them focus on symbolism, very little on philosophy, because philosophy they take it as very dry, only for those nerd scholars who like to read only but do nothing, can read but cannot apply in life. This is their understanding of philosophy, the Li part, which I beg to differ. Okay, where after you've studied Tao Te Ching, you know that 有术无道不远. 有术 means the 术 means the technique lah, the formula lah, whatever, this 术 术的术. All those are these are 术, okay? But if you learn the 术 without 这个道, you cannot go far. This is what Tao Te Ching says, right? So if it's asking, Master, does your Tao Te Ching workshop mention nothingness? We are going deep into nothingness. If we're going deep into nothingness until you see exactly what is nothingness, right? So nobody can challenge you on nothingness. All right, so when I talk about xiang, let me talk about xiang first. After many years of I Ching coming out into the world, having its footprints in every Chinese culture, everybody is talking about xiang. Looking at the sky, they say, okay, 我在看天象, 观天象. Looking at a person, you say, 我在看面相. Okay, looking at earth, the rain, you say, 我在看地象. Looking at the 卦, you say, 我在看卦象. Everything is about 象. So people are getting more and more obsessed with symbolism, in Chinese called 象. Now, Lao Tzu saw that. Lao Tzu saw that trajectory, okay, trajectory of over obsession of symbolism. Okay, over obsessive will impede progress. That's why I say 有术无道不远. Lao Tzu has already seen this coming and say that, okay, if given this trajectory of people obsessing over symbolism, it will impede further progress and breakthrough. I give a real life example. Okay, real life example where people are so obsessive about a xiang. Okay, a xiang. Now, for many years, I think it's getting worse and worse that parents are obsessed with academic degree. Having an academic degree, for example, a degree, a PhD, whatever, it is like a xiang. Okay, and people are getting too obsessed with it. And see what happened now? Everybody is so obsessed. They do all the funny thing, right? Right? They pay expensive, very expensive tuition for their children to learn things that they are supposed to learn in school, which they are paying for the school also. Okay, so getting too obsessed. So is it allowed to say no? It's not healthy. Okay, it's not healthy. Why? You see, if everybody is obsessed, right? What do you think will happen? People start to follow. Monkey see, monkey do. Right? When people go for, when the neighbor's child go for this expensive enrichment class, you also send your own child for this expensive or maybe even more expensive enrichment class. People start to follow. So in I Ching, there's also another hexagram called, 17 is called 随卦, following. When people follow blindly, in I Ching, it says that it will lead to decadence. 17, hexagram 17, will lead to hexagram 18, decadence. This is the natural evolvement of things. Lao Tzu saw that, and Lao Tzu said, no, we must do something before it gets worse. Darren said it's true in I Ching. It mentioned briefly about Wu. It says, 万物出于无, 无不出于明. Okay, so yeah, it's just a brief mention and nothing, full stop, that's all. Okay, Mary said, obsession leads to superstition. Very good. Very good. On the ugly side, yes, obsession leads to superstition. And when it comes to superstition, a lot of things can happen. Okay, so Lao Tzu said, no. This trajectory is very unhealthy. I must do something about it while I can. So what he tried to do is that his intention is say, let's us try to 破相立道. 破相 means break this obsession about symbolism and then re-establish Tao. Re-establish Tao. So basically means he's trying to do a soft reset. Like he's not trying to force people to do a full hard reset, but do a soft reset, saying that, okay, I write this Tao Te Ching, 有缘人你去读 and understand, right? And yeah, this is basically his intention. So right now, every one of us should understand what's the intention why Lao Tzu write Tao Te Ching. The intention is only one and one only, which is to 破相立道. Loosely translated means to break away this over obsession over symbolism or over standards, okay, and then try to re-establish Tao. Now, in doing so, Lao Tzu has another worry. Guess what is the another worry if he managed to 破相立道? What do you think would be the second worry? Make a quick guess. Fuxi come up with symbolism, everybody obsessed with symbolism, right? When someone come out with this very expensive enrichment class, everybody go and follow this enrichment class. Jia Xuan say another obsession. Okay, very close. Another obsession of what? That is very important. That will lead us to chapter 1. Okay. The Tao. Thank you, Jia Xuan. Wow, you're there already. 你开悟了. Right? That's how we talk about, if someone come out with this expensive enrichment class, everybody go and follow, get obsessive. And then when someone come out with a textbook that can say guarantee you or I don't know what result, distinction result, whatever, everybody will follow. Then they get obsessed with that textbook. So Lao Tzu also got this secondary worry is that once I manage to 破相立道, will people get obsessed, over obsessed, not obsessed only, over obsessed with Tao? Then 假烂. Because Lao Tzu does not want over obsession. Okay, obsession is fine, but not over obsession. Right? So Jia Xuan is correct. Is scared, worry about another obsession of the Tao. So now how? Okay, now how obsessed with the Tao. Okay, so therefore, if say middle way, yeah, master, exactly. But how to middle way? So Lao Tzu stretch the head. How to middle way? So the best middle way, Lao Tzu can think of, is to come out with a disclaimer. Okay, come out with a disclaimer. Why? Because he's worried that once he come out with this Tao, right? He wrote the Tao Te Ching, say, "Oh, this is actually Tao, 不要迷相, but this is the Tao." Then everybody will take what he says to be the absolute truth. Absolute truth. Okay, but later on you understand why he put in disclaimer. So the middle way, like what if suggested, which Lao Tzu finally adopted, is let's put in a disclaimer. Okay, that means before anything else, before you continue reading my book, I give you a disclaimer first. And the disclaimer is this one: 道可道，非常道. Right in chapter 1, first sentence. 道可道，非常道. This is the disclaimer. Anybody, can you try to help me explain what this disclaimer means? 道可道，非常道. So Darren say one of the common obsession is activation must see something. We tend to forget that other cannot see benefit to you. Exactly. Later on, when we delve deeper into the Tao Te Ching, there's something called the observable. There's something called the unobservable. I think this is what Darren is trying to say. There are observable benefits. There are also unobservable benefits. But you don't get to see those unobservable benefits doesn't mean it's not there. Same with Tao Te Ching. Okay, anybody want to try? What is this disclaimer about? 道可道，非常道. I give you the background already. I give you the context already. How we arrive to this point. Say that the first sentence is a disclaimer statement made by Lao Tzu. So make your best guess. Anyone? What is this disclaimer about? If you can't explain, which is normal, right? No worries. Mary say, if you think you the way, it is not the way. Very close, but not exactly there yet. Okay, very close up, but yeah. Okay, you say those that can say are not unchangeable. Very good, very good, very, very close. So what Mary say and what Eve say are very, very close, very, very, very close. Yeah. Okay, so this is disclaimer. So basically, what he's trying to say is that what I'm going to put down here in this Tao Te Ching book is not the absolute truth. There are more to what I can write down. Basically, this is a disclaimer. Okay, this is the disclaimer. Don't be obsessed over what I wrote, because there are more that I couldn't write down. That's like Darren mentioned about those observable benefits and unobservable benefits. Okay, so what the Lao Tzu can write down are those things that he understood. So same thing with this lesson, this workshop. What I'm sharing with you are only the portion that I understand. You get my point? There are other unobservable or other unknown portion about nature and universe, about the Tao, about the source code that I don't know, and therefore I couldn't share with you. There are more. Okay, so don't take what I say today in this workshop. This is also my disclaimer to you. Don't take what I say today as the absolute truth about Tao Te Ching. So back to my house rules number 1. Don't believe a thing I say. Okay, so Darren says, just like seeing an item, I hold an item, it's called a pen, but to a dog, it's a biting toy. Exactly, good point. Very good point, Darren. The Tao is there, yes, item, but 非常道 from who? Very good point. Okay, seems like Darren, you also kai wu already, huh? You understand Tao, the source code, what it means. Okay, not to worry. So at least now we know the chapter 1 first sentence is a disclaimer to tell you, yeah, before you proceed to read, please agree with this disclaimer, which is to say, whatever you read, please don't take it as the absolute truth about the source code called Tao. Okay, right? So we will drill deeper into chapter 1, right? In module 2, okay, in module 2, where we will go and dive deeper into the origin